Hello. One more. That's how many the Golden Knights need. One more. Not more than that. One more. And I told you last game, I told you it was going to be okay. They played a great game. They're better than this team. It's going to be fine. I tried to tell everybody. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Well, a lot of people did listen to me, but nobody wanted to take me. You all wanted to be a little nervous and be a little concerned and whatever. No, that shit. No, the Golden Knights are better than this team. I'm telling you this. I'm trying to tell you this for a while. The Golden Knights are better than this team. They need to show it one more time in 3 games. One time in 3 games. And yes, the internet is not very good here. There is nothing I can do about that. So we're going to have to just deal with that and deal with some of the issues that go through this. However, one more game. Today's game, we'll start with how this worked out today, how they went about winning today. Today's game was a 1-period game for the Golden Knights. They were not particularly good in a couple. The internet's going to get better. I know the internet is struggling. It seems to be improving a little bit as we go on. There's less people in here. It should get better. So just stick with me. It hopefully will survive. Maybe I'm on the wrong one, but no, I'm on the right one. So there's not a lot I can do about it. So we're going to have to deal with that. The game was won in the second period for me. The game was won by making sure. All right, so you can hear me, but you can't really see me. Well, that's good. You don't need to see me anyway. The game was won in the second period today. The Golden Knights have had problems over the course of the season in the second period. Bruce Cassidy teams have had problems over the course of the season in the second period. Yet, this postseason, the Golden Knights have been incredible in the second period. And today was the absolute peak of how good they can possibly be in the second period. They were absolutely tremendous in this second period, and when they needed it, when they come out and start to tilt the ice back in the other direction, slow down their forecheck, make life difficult on their defensemen, they were able to do it time and time and time again. I'm going to write about it. I have quotes from a couple of different players about it. Riley Smith talked to me about it. Nick Waugh talked to me about it. Even Aiden Hill. I have a great quote from Aiden Hill that I'm looking forward to publishing probably later tonight because I'm going to stay up, because who sleeps after a game like this? I will continue to stay up and write, and we'll publish that, and we'll figure that out before I get the hell out of here tomorrow. And I do not want to come back. We are not coming back. That's what I'm hoping for. Do not make me get back on that plane. Do not make us have to watch 2 more games of this. Let's get this thing over with. Let's start worrying about what happens after the Golden Knights win number 16. But this is another game. And Riley, I talked to Smith a little bit, and the way he said it, I liked it. He said, we're 4 games in now. We believe we've outplayed them in all 4 games. We believe that we've been the better team in all 4 games. And I completely agree. There have been times where Florida has grown into the game a little bit. Obviously, VGK was kind of dealing with that third period, the way that you kind of deal with a third period when you do have a 2-goal lead and you are in a situation where we're getting to the point where you got to make sure you don't give that last one up. But to me, the Golden Knights are playing the right way in all 3 zones at all scores, penalty, kill, power play, all of it. It's all come together at this time. And again, it's incredible that it's all come together. And I've already gotten ready. We're going to have the Periscope podcast, whatever I decide to do, that talks about all the things that kind of blew me away in this postseason, the things we got right, the things we got wrong, all of that stuff's going to come. But for now, we still focus on how are they doing it, and what they're doing has happened in multiple ways. But the second period is an example, 20-minute example, and maybe you can call it 15, 18, whatever, because they get the bullshit one at the end, whatever. I'm not worried about that. That's a ridiculous goal. It's never going to go again. Who cares? Throw that out in the garbage. It doesn't make any difference. And as I thought when it happened, I didn't think it would make a difference in this particular game, and it did not. So that second period is what the Golden Knights look like at their absolute best. It's a combination of making sure they're playing in the offensive zone, getting in on the forecheck, creating all these turnovers, then utilizing their delay into the middle of the – I can't use data for Brendan talking about data. There's nothing I can do to fix the internet. The internet on my phone is even worse. So hopefully you can hear me. and we will just keep going. Again, there's nothing I can do about it. So stop complaining about the internet. I do not control the internet. We can only control what we talk about, not how the internet works. So in that second period, you saw all of the aspects of what the Golden Knights do well in the offensive zone. They're able to hit you off the rush. They're able to get things done by getting into the zone quickly and making plays quickly. But more importantly, they started to get into the zone and hold the puck into the zone and make that delay play and make the low to high play and make all of these different things that were making them incredibly dangerous in the offensive zone. And more so, even beyond the fact that, yes, they were able to score 3 goals in that period, but beyond that, it was what was making the Panthers unable to do, what the Panthers could not generate because of the way the Golden Knights were playing. When they get in the offensive zone, they were able to hold it. They were able to keep guys on their backs. They were able to make sure that they were spending a majority of the time of each individual shift in the offensive zone. And at that point, when the puck did come out, now they're making a long line change. Vegas is coming right back in and getting the job done by getting right back in the zone, getting right back on the forecheck, and simply not allowing them to get out. That is what you want to see. And when that happens, Vegas's neutral zone is great. Vegas's outs are great. Vegas going back pucks are great. Aiden Hill doesn't have to do much of anything. And then if they are able to, say, get a puck that floats over or floats over the glass or something that is covered or whatever, they do get an offensive zone draw, icing, whatever it happens to be, misplay, whatever. Vegas is so good at making sure that when they're fresh and in their own zone, that they're comfortable in that zone. And that's something that I feel like over the course of this season was frustrating to all of us. Letting them kind of work through and learn how to be good enough in their own zone was frustrating. There were times where there were games where they're down there the entire game, or there's periods or stretches of plays where they're down there the whole game, and they were making mistakes. They were being caught out of position. All of these things were happening, and to then get all of that out of the way and get to this point, to build to this point, it's such a credit to Bruce Cassidy for not only sticking with it, but having the ability to teach the problems out of this team. And that's the second thing I want to talk about. But first, I want to tell you that Conler & Associates CPAs presents all Periscopes for SinBin.vegas this season, including this postseason. And they can be found at conlercpa.com, KONDLERCPA.com. Go there, tell them SinBin sent you. They'll hook you up a free consultation. They will help you with all of your tax needs, from business tax to crypto tax to gambling tax to easy stuff to hard stuff to all of it. Whatever you have to do with your tax, make sure that all of it, you go to Conler & Associates CPAs and have them help you out. They are fantastic. Go there, conlercpa.com, KONDLERCPA.com. Tell them SinBin sent you. They'll hook you up a free consultation. So the second part to me, and I had it ready to go. I knew we were going to end up in another 6-on-4 situation or a 6-on-5 situation. I didn't know we were going to get 6-on-4, but I felt really good as the game progressed down there. There was a little stretch from like 10 minutes to 6 minutes. Maybe you can stretch it out to like 12 to 6 or somewhere in there, something of that sort. That, yeah, they started pushing it. We're a little bit concerning, whatever. However, I knew that once we got to 6-on-5, if there's one thing that this team has shown over and over and over again, it's that they learn from the issues that they have. They learn from the issues they had in the Winnipeg game, in the Winnipeg series immediately. They learned from the issues they had on the penalty kill against Edmonton. They got better. They learned how to kind of slow down McDavid and hold up Draisaitl and do all these things. They learned about what they needed to do against Dallas. And then when they had the 2 games where Dallas pushed back, they learned what they needed to do. In this particular situation, I knew coming into this game, if Vegas can get a 6-on-5, they're going to kill it off. They're going to get it done. They're going to find the way. And they absolutely did it. It was so good. Keeping the puck to the outside, not chasing. There's a great example. It was probably with about 40 seconds left. Pietrangelo chases out, and he looks like he's going to go, and then stops and retreats back and gets to the front of the goal and makes sure that he is not too far away, so that if the shot does come through, they have the appropriate numbers in front of the goals. Now, they did a good job blocking the shots, which that goes a long way. If you're going to be out there White Cloud on the draw, and he has to be because of where the draw is. But if you're out there on that draw, you better make sure you block that shot. White Cloud did it. I think McNabb had another one. They did a great job of doing that and keeping the play away from the front of the goal. The puck gets underneath the goal, and now there's a scramble in front. There's enough Vegas bodies to make sure that they don't have that mistake. That is what this team has become so darn good at. When they have bad periods of forechecking, it's better the next period. When they have a bad period breaking the puck out, it's better the next period. When they're struggling in where to put their dump ins, it's better the next game or the next period or the next couple of days or whatever. To go through the 6-on-5 situation, blow the game in the last game, give them life, give them a feel. Golden Knights knew that if they get in that situation again, it's not going to happen again. And that is so good at how they've been able to take the coaching from where they were to where we've got. Honestly, I've thought a lot about the things that I've said, the things that I wasn't sure about, things that I criticized or what. Two of the biggest ones. One is Eichel. The Eichel trade looks incredible. There's no way around it. I was flat out wrong. We'll keep talking about that as we get further. He's right there, 1 or 2 for me on Conn Smythe. The second one is I didn't think Bruce Cassidy was going to have this much of an impact immediately or really long term compared to Pete DeBoer. And I do feel a little bit vindicated on the DeBoer front in that he brought a Dallas team that I don't think was that good all the way to the conference final. He's a great coach. But the difference is the fit with Bruce Cassidy and the players that the Golden Knights have. When you look at what they've become, they're much better defensively than they've ever been. And they were not a bad defensive team, but where they're better is when they're in the defensive zone, they're comfortable. They know what they need to do. They don't rely on shot suppression. They don't rely on out-courseeing a team 60-40. All of it comes down to, we know if we're in our zone, they're going to have a hard time scoring. It's made the goals better. It's made the bottom pair better. It's made the bottom lines better. It's made all of these wingers that had some issues. They've given them answers. They've given them ways to make plays better. I think they've just gotten better and better and better. And to me, to have it be the way that it was, I think it's really, really crucial. And looking at the entire course of the season, to see those games at the beginning of the season where the Golden Knights were super healthy, went 13-2, didn't play great in a lot of those games, but were winning a good majority of them. It then allowed us to go through that stretch, that 40-something game stretch, where it was basically a point per game. And it was super inconsistent, and there were different issues cropping up every other game, and all these different things were happening. But all of it, Cassidy, Stevens, the rest of the coaching staff, Craig and Mish Donskoy, Sean Burke, all of it, the entire coaching staff was able to then take each individual piece of this, build that next answer into the game, and we finally get to hear where we then see some of the issues that have happened against 4 good teams. 4 teams that deserve to be at the point that they were at in their position in the postseason, and the Golden Knights have had the answers for each and every single one. That arc of the season, we're going to have to really dive into and look at how that made them better, how that allowed them to get to this point where every single issue that we have seen crop up, they're able to fix within a period or at the very worst within a game. Now, obviously, that last one, the 6-on-5 situation, you can't fix that in a period because you're not going to see it again until the very next game. They've had answers for all of it. And to keep going on, I'll talk to you about Eichel a little bit. I do have a little bit more information, not a ton, but I have a little bit more on him. And then the Pietrangelo thing, I've heard a lot of people talking about the Pietrangelo thing coming out of the box, getting in the fight, all this, whatever was going on. I have some information that I will share on that. Actually, it's not really information. It's just me flat out telling you what's going to happen with that situation. But first, I'll tell you that Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling is the reason I am here in Sunrise, Florida, right next to the Everglades, right next to the parking lot where they check underneath your car to make sure gators aren't there. We are here because of Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling, a fantastic local company that will come to your house, check out your air conditioning system for just $50 and make sure that you do not have the issue that I had many years ago where my air conditioning broke when it was 110. They took like 3 days to come out to my house. It was a disaster because everybody's air conditioner breaks in the summer. Air conditioners aren't built to deal with 116-degree weather, but we're getting it anyway. It's coming. I promise you it's going to be hot. very soon. It's humid here. It's not that humid where you guys all are, but it's humid back in Vegas. You should go to Vegas Night and Day, heating and cooling. Tell them you want the SinBin pre-summer special. We'll come out to your house, $50. Make sure that everything's good. If you need repairs, they got extra SinBin discounts. VKDAC.com, VKDAC.com. So I'll start with Eichel because a lot of people have asked me about Eichel. Again, I can't reach over the thing because there's a pane of glass here, and I can read the questions through the pane of glass, but reaching over is super awkward, and my phone is on a popcorn tin and then on this very small ledge, and it's possible that it falls off the back, so I don't really want to touch it. So I'm just going to read your questions instead of actually putting them up on the screen. On Eichel, we believe is fine. From what I understand, it was concussion protocol. He got hit in the head. It was in the back of the head, so they did go through concussion protocol. It does take a little bit of time. It often does take longer than a intermission. So we believe it to be concussion protocol. That is not officially confirmed. That is not anything that I have like on the record or anything, but we believe it to be that, which leads you to then say he might have some headaches or problems or whatever in his back, whatever it is, or in his neck, whatever. I don't think that this is going to be anything beyond concussion protocol. I think he's probably going to have a welt. He got hit in the head, but I'm not concerned at all for him. I expected him to be out on practice on Monday. He was in the locker room after the game. I don't think he talked now that I think about it, but I saw him in there. So I don't think we're in any danger there other than the fact that he might be uncomfortable. I think he'll be fine because he's also one win away from having his name real high up on the list of those who won the Stanley Cup. Pretty unbelievable. The other one's Pietrangelo. A lot of people are talking to me about Pietrangelo, and I think you're going to get a lot of this from Florida fans. Yes, it is technically true that you cannot leave the bench to then engage in a fight. That is true. You can't do that. However, he wasn't on the bench. He was in the penalty box. Came out of the penalty box, and he was trying to get back, and then there ends up being a fight. There is no way that there's going to be video that shows that he seeked out a fight more so than the fight coming to him skating from the penalty box back to the game or back to his bench. He has to leave. This is him jumping over and coming out on the ice. He did not go the wrong way. He's on the other side. He has to go across. There is no way, none, zero, that any of this even gets reviewed at all. They may look at it, whatever. They will not be a suspension to Alex Pietrangelo. I promise you that. There's no way that a guy coming off the bench that ends up having to grab Matthew Tkachuk is going to be suspended. It's not going to happen. So you can sleep easy on that one. It is absolutely not going to happen. If anybody else has any other questions, go ahead and give them to me now. KONDLERCPA.com is the website that sponsors all of these Periscopes after games. I'll continue doing them. Hopefully there's only one more, and we'll have to figure out how that one works because there's a lot that goes on after the thing happens. So we'll have to figure out. That could be a late one, like a real late one. I don't even know. I'm not even sure we can do it on the same day. I don't know how that's going to work, but stick around for that. We'll have to make a game time call on that. We're not going to make plans on that right now. So Paul Maurice, a couple talked about Paul Maurice. Yeah, so the quote that jumps out about Paul Maurice is basically the question was asked, is Matthew Tkachuk going to play in the final game? Maurice said, I'd like you to rephrase that. I think there's 3 more games left in the series. That's basically the way he put it. What do you want him to say? What else could he possibly say other than that? So to me, there's really not a huge story there. I do think that there was a happy, jovial Paul Maurice that was there for a couple of days early in this series. That has basically disappeared completely. There is, got it. They're cleaning up the arena around me. No, that's good. You're good. They're cleaning up the arena around me, and I'm trying to stay out of the way because they're doing a great job quickly. It's insane how quickly they can clean these arenas. All right, so back to what I was saying with Paul Maurice was, oh, yeah, I want to take this one. I'm actually going to reach over and take this one because this is a bunch of horse shit. Everyone keeps tweeting me about this, telling me about this, and it's crap. I did not say that they should be sellers at the deadline. I did not say that because I said if Mark Stone is out for the season, they should consider selling at the deadline. I did not say that if Mark Stone was going to play in game 1 of the postseason, that they should sell at the deadline. Didn't say that. I said if Mark Stone is out for the entire season and they know it, that they should consider selling at the deadline. Someday I'll pull the audio. I didn't say it. I don't know why people can only listen to 5 seconds of what I say and then ignore the rest. What's going on? I don't get it. They knew. The Golden Knights knew Mark Stone was going to play right at the beginning of the postseason. They understood it. They knew that. I didn't. They put out a tweet or a press release that said he's out indefinitely with his second neck surgery or back surgery in 8 weeks. Losing it. Second back surgery in 8 months. I said constantly, if Mark Stone is out for the season, if they think he's out for the season, they have to consider selling. That's not what they thought. They were told he's going to have another surgery. He's going to be ready to go when the postseason begins. That's what they said. That's what I said. Once they knew that, I knew that they were not going to sell. And in fact, I said, I think they need to buy a defensive player. They went out and they bought Bluger. He hasn't really had much to do in this series, but that move, I thought the price was a little bit high. But when you look back, if I knew, again, all of it happened without us knowing that Mark Stone was going to play the entirety of the postseason. No one knew that. If we knew that, they did. The Golden Knights did know that. They just didn't tell anybody about it. I understand why. If we knew that, we would have felt a lot better about buying at the deadline. In fact, I might have even wanted them to buy more. Probably lucky that they did not. Whatever. I didn't say sell at the deadline if Mark Stone's going to be healthy. I didn't say that. Whatever. All right. Enough of that. Back to Maurice. So, I think that there was like a level of jovialness to him. He was having a good time. He was clearly excited to be here. He's feeling good, like he has a chance. Now it's like, uh-oh, we're in big trouble. He was that way after game 2. He was certainly that way tonight. I think all of this, he's getting a real feel that his team's not as good as the team they're facing. And they're going to need a lot to go right, and they're going to have to make changes. And I don't know that there's anything that they can do to get better and make something happen here in the rest of this series. I think the Golden Knights are going to win the Stanley Cup. I really do believe it. I've been saying it the whole series. I'm going to continue saying it. I really think it's going to happen. They're taking the glass off of the rink behind me. It's pretty wild. I've never seen them do this quickly. It's pretty crazy that that's happening. Probably a reason that I should get the hell out of here. So we'll take a couple more if anybody else has any more. Any chance E2 plays for them Thursday? I do not believe that Luosterainen's going to play in the rest of this series. I don't think that that's going to happen. Any idea what's up with Duclair injury-wise? I have not heard of an injury to Duclair. He is not making an impact at all on this series. He's not been able to drive inside. I think it's more so how Vegas is defending him. Same thing with Tkachuk. The way that they're defending these players is they're simply not allowing them into the middle. They're just not. And that's taking away some of the best aspects of a lot of these different players. There's a Yanni concert here. Is that right? Wow, that's pretty wild. Maybe I should stick around. All right. My recent thoughts on Conn Smythe, it's Marchessault or Eichel. I think Marchessault has it at the moment. I think Eichel can take it if he gets the goal that wins the Stanley Cup. So if they're a tight game and he scores it in overtime or something like that, I think he can take it. But I think he has to get a goal. If he doesn't get a goal, probably not. If he gets an early goal, I don't think so. I'll lean by it's Marchessault. I have Eichel second. Right now, I still have Carlson third. However, Stone's creeping up on him. So we'll have to see how that works as we go. Hopefully, there's only one more game. Score predictions for the next game. I think Vegas is going to win big. Big. 6, 7, 8-0. Yeah, I really do believe they're going to blow them out. They've done it in every single elimination or closeout game. I think they're going to do it again. Score early, score often. The other team's going to quit, and that's going to be it. The Golden Knights are going to make it happen. Is there any chance of Matteo being replaced in Game 5? None. Unless there's an injury that I don't know of, there's no way they're taking a player out of this lineup. Absolutely not. Why would you take anyone out of this lineup at this moment? I'm trying to see if there's any more. No, that's all I've got. So we will be back. Let's see. What do we have? So the game's on Tuesday. So I'll probably do something. I don't know. I got a lot of time before we get to the airport. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know what's going to happen there. Goalie interference is Wednesday. Could be an interesting one right afterwards. We'll see how that works. That might have to move depending on whatever's going on. I don't know. how this is all going to work out, but we will figure it out. That's it. Conlon Associates CPAs sponsor the Periscopes, Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling, sponsor my road travel. Please use them. Use both of them. I appreciate it. That's it. Golden Knights are 60 minutes away from winning the Stanley Cup, and I truly believe they're going to do it at home in front of all of you on Tuesday. Unbelievable.